فيها النبي المحترم يا خير من دفنت بالقاع أعظمه فطاب من طيبهن القاع والأكم روح الفداء لكبر أنت ساكنه فيه الأفاف وفيه الجود والكرم. Respected elders and brothers, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's blessed mercy and blessing be upon our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May he grant us the true love for Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and make us the true ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in it make us realize what is the duty of a ummati. Remember, our situation is such that being of the ummah, we have been given extra responsibility. And being of the ummah, we are actually representatives of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ana khatamun nabiyyin la nabiyya ba'di. He was the seal to all prophets. No Nabi is coming after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the day of Qiyamah. And therefore, our position is elevated, because we have been blessed to be the representative of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And always, one very important factor that we should realize, that our actions, our mannerism, our habits, especially in front of non-Muslim, has an impact on them in a manner that they will not say, this individual did it, but a Muslim did it. And therefore, throughout the world, we hear this constantly. Any person does anything, a person loses his mind, he goes on a killing spree, he's mentally sick, but because he was a Muslim, it became an Islamic terrorist attack. Whenever something wrong is done by a Muslim, it becomes linked with Islam. And in a way, although it might not be right because it's an individual's thing, but we as Muslims should realize we also need to play our part as Muslim. But unfortunately today, the situation has become such that outwardly people will say that it has become very easy to learn Islamic knowledge. Due to social media, everything. But unfortunately, this is the ploy of Shaitan too. That many a times we will find that very unwittingly, in the name of Quran and Sunnah, people will attack a'mal of people and try to take them away from a'mal. Just to give one example, all our lives, the issue of the 15th of Shaban being an auspicious day was recognized. The night as well as the day. But unfortunately, we will find now that people who are habitual of fasting are being encouraged, don't fast 1 day, fast 3 days. Where does the 3 days for the 15th of Shaban come that you have to fast 3 days consecutively? That is for the whole year, every month. That is the sunnah for the monthly sunnah. The 15th of Shaban, as we mentioned, that fast is a mustahabet. It's not even a full sunnah. It was encouraged. But today people will tell you that fast is not right, it's a bidah. They go as far as within our own community, they will say the 15th of Shaban is no fazila. Based on certain things, technicalities, as far as Sharia is concerned. But something that continued for 1400 years. Great muhaddithin discussed on it and gave permissibility of it. Yet we find that people fall off it, and people for whom the whole life were fasting stop fasting. They stop their ibadat on that night, they stop the dua. With the fadilat of the dua is 100% accepted. That we stop, they say you mustn't do anything. And to such an extent that I've heard people say, don't do your normal ibadat also, so people mustn't think you're doing it because of the 15th of Shaban. Destroying deen in the name of deen. Go a step further. The issue of 8 rakats of Taraweeh. All the great muhaddithin, from the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, till recently, accepted it as 20 rakats, being minimum. According to the Maliki madhab, Taraweeh is 30 or 32 rakats. Because it was the habit of the people of Makkah Mukarramah that the Tarweeh had it after 4 the break, they would make a tawaf. So instead of leaving the people waiting for that long period, Imam Malik encouraged them to read 2 extra rakats of Taraweeh. They destroyed the Ummah in the way now, for our own ease and our nafs, for our own pleasure, we want to read 8 rakats. And you find most of the youth falling for it, many of the elders, no, it's only 8 rakats. And they walk off. Then, in the harm and detriment, an example given, which I had in many cases like this, even within our town. And then you get the back door, same group of people, that for a few, like we call them scholars for dollars, will give jawaz. In a fight and argument with the wife, the person announces talaq 3 times. And then he comes and he says, but I was angry, that's why I said it. The Quran says, at-talaqu marratan. Together don't give more than 2. Because the third, إن طلقها من بعد فلا تحل لك. If you give a talaq after that, she becomes haram on you. حتى تنكح زوجا غيره, until she marries another man. Not nikah, written nikah. Fulfillment of marriage. Consummating the marriage. And then talaq has to take place. Iddat has to be spent. Then only she can go back to her first husband. Detriment. A group of ulama say, no, 3 is one. It was in anger. It never meant. You will say it in anger and it's 3 times. It is. Some of them say it's not even talaq. Others say it's 1 talaq. And then you find that within those who say, okay, it is 3 talaq, you separate. Then what they do? They formed what they call the Council of Halala, where you get people, the husband and wife want to get back together. You pay him, he'll make nikah, he'll make sure what is only necessary to do that he will do, and then she will become halal for you, which is a form of prostitution. This, unfortunately, the illness and sickness that is set within the ummah. And then they still have the nerve to call themselves who are the true, the rightly guided. And the rest of the ummah are all lost. As Muslims, we should understand, why did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam go to such great difficulty for the revelation of the Quran? They said when the Quran was revealed, it was such a pressure on Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that his chest would wheeze like water that is boiling in a kettle for long, and the kettle not only whistling, start wheezing that sound. That was the sound because of the weight of the wahy. There is learning and learning from a teacher. Not taking from anywhere and making up our own minds and feel what pleases us, then that is not tatbiq of following deen, that is talfiq, where you're following your desires and doing what you please. The deen of Islam is there. Look back to the Sahaba, how did they learn? The Tabi'in, how they learned, and how they continuously learn till today. That is the way you should look for your knowledge and where you should take your knowledge from. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding of what a great deen we have. Make us understand. Let us not be carried away by any new thing that we see, and try and verify and find out the reality of issues that are there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to follow true deen, live with deen, make it part of our lives, and may our death come on the proper deen with iman, with kalimatul ikhlas, and with Allah's rida. Wa akhiru da'wana.